There's a lot of crap out there.
That was a little harsh. Let's back up and try again. There are a lot of inexpensive fragrances out there that smell cheap. They smell lackluster, they smell lazy, and they just simply smell of poor quality. But as you can see from the subject of this video, inexpensive does not have to mean cheap. I think one of the biggest downfalls in this beautiful fragrance hobby is that many of us acquire hordes of the cheapest fragrances we can get our hands on simply because they're cheap. Sometimes it works out, most times it doesn't. And unless you love it, I don't think it works out. Is spending little money on something mediocre still a win? Now to the reason for this video. I can't tell you how many comments I get asking me,
can you talk about cheaper fragrances, Justin? Please.
And it's a valid question. I've made numerous videos over the years talking about cheap / whatever fragrances that don't cost a lot of money. I've done that a lot, but I've gotten away from it for some of the reasons I just described. So while I am hesitant to make a video like this, I do see value in certain fragrances that come at a low price. Perhaps they're much more expensive at their retail prices, and honestly, they're worth those prices, if you're asking me. But you're lucky that a place like FragranceBuy.ca, from which you can get all of the fragrances we're going to talk about today, carry these fragrances at some of the best prices you will find on the internet, bar none. We talk about them often. You've shopped from them, I'm sure. If you haven't, I'm not sure what you're waiting on. They have phenomenal service, a fantastic selection that is ever growing, always adding new exciting stuff every month, and they always have really cool deals going on. All 8 of these fragrances are going to be linked down below the like button. Now obviously what you consider inexpensive is going to be relative. Same with me. Each of these fragrances can be had for $50 or less. We might have a little bit of skirting the edge, but we'll get to that. And specifically, these prices are what Fragrance Buy has listed. So if you shop somewhere else, I can't make any promises you're gonna find the same prices. Let's dive right into it. In no particular order, the first fragrance up is brand new to my collection. This was sent to me by Fragrance Buy along with one other fragrance that is also brand new that I requested. A lot of you guys have been telling me to get this for years now since it came out, and I've been interested in it. I actually haven't been putting it off because it didn't look like something I would like. It really does. I just have prioritized other things over. Moustache Eau de Parfum from Rochas. This stuff exceeded my expectations. I wore this the other day for the first time. I actually unboxed it with Grace in a live stream we did specifically for our members, those who are part of the Fresh Lounge. So those of you guys, there's a few of you who got to see us unbox this and smell it, both of us together live in person. If you guys want to be a part of more experiences like that, hit that join button down below near the subscribe button and you'll get some more information on how to join the Fresh Lounge. This is a beautiful scent, and I cannot believe you can have this for like, at least at this point in time, in the $40 range. People say it smells a little bit like YSL Tuxedo, and I would agree with that. It does smell similar to that scent profile. I don't have YSL Tuxedo. I have a decant somewhere that I haven't smelled in a long time, so I can't actually compare and contrast them right now. This is a warm, sweet, benzoin ambery resinous scent that has this kind of fresh, gentlemanly quality to it. There's a nice sharp woodiness that offsets this warm sweetness, so it doesn't smell just like another sweet designer. It doesn't smell gourmand. It smells like a man. There's something masculine about this kind of sweetness that I really enjoyed. My wife was loving it on me while I was wearing it. This is a winner for me. This is going to be evenings out pretty much year round because it's not the strongest scent profile. I was finding it was hanging around on my skin quite a while, easily 6 to 8 hours, but it started to sit close after a few hours, and I think that's fine. That makes it actually more versatile. It's not going to be overpowering or sickly unless you're a 25 plus sprayer, in which case I got no respect for you. Kidding. This is awesome stuff. Let me know if you dig Moustache Eau de Parfum down in the comments. This whole collection baffles me with how cheaply you can find it, and it does not smell cheap at all. In fact, it's kind of an artistic collection from a designer house, and it's from the Encre Noire line. This is the Sport Flanker. Encre Noire Sport. Now, I do consider this a very easy to wear fragrance, but this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea because not everyone digs vetiver. Sharp, mouth-watering, citrusy, bitey, watery, woody vetiver. If you smell it up close, again, honestly, I love vetiver, so I love smelling this up close. But if you're not super sold on vetiver yet, smelling this up close, it might throw you off. So I don't really recommend that, but I think it's an easy fragrance to wear that smells not like everything else. Because it's a little bit unusual, it has that kind of dark, almost inky, woody quality to it. It makes it a little bit more elegant. So while you can pull this off casually, I've worn this to the gym. You can also dress it up a little bit more, especially during the daytime. I think it does perfectly as a slightly above casual daytime wear with some interest, and a very low price for such great quality. Encre Noire Sport from Lalique. The house of Caron is technically a niche house from which you can get their fragrances, especially at discounters, for phenomenal prices. Now I will say this is the one skirting the edge. Technically, at the time I looked at this on Fragrance Buy, it was about $51. So
sue me, it's $1 over the range, but
I think you already agree it doesn't matter. A little bit unusual, but also once again easy to wear. And this is called Aimez-Moi Comme je suis, which means love me as I am. Man, this is a simple fragrance, but it smells very unique. It is kind of fresh. There's a warm nuttiness. There's a little bit of tobacco in here, and it's a little bit sweet. It's kind of hard to describe, ironically enough, for being so simple, because I can't really tie it to anything else overtly. There is a little bit of maybe a bitter woodiness in there, like some vetiver. It's a soft scent profile. It is understated, not a slouch, not timid or anything like that, but just confident, has no need to scream. It's a very respectable scent profile, one that I would dress up a little bit more, but it's not all that complex. It doesn't change a whole lot, so I don't think it requires the most formal occasion or formal wear. It is kind of an easy wear, but it is different. So I would say you have been warned, but I think it's really pleasant. I don't feel like I need to warn you about anything. Let me know if you dig this stuff. There's not a lot of talk about it because there's not a lot of talk about this brand, period. But man, this is some great perfumery. Check it out, guys. Link down below. I don't have much to say about this next one because I've talked about it a lot on this channel. Hell, I think I've talked about it fairly recently in some videos I just did. And this has been a mainstay. And I think it's one of the best designer fragrances you can get that smells elevated, sophisticated, and you can find it for like under $30, which I still don't get, but I'm not questioning it. John Varvatos Vintage. This is kind of a dark, but still fresh, sweet tobacco leather fougere, almost a little bit ambery in a way. And it's such a well-blended scent. It just is a vibe in a bottle. You like to dress up a little bit more. You like collared shirts. You don't need ties necessarily, but you're not afraid of a tie. You're not afraid of a sport coat. You're not afraid of shaking people's hands firmly. You're not afraid of looking people in the eye. You're not afraid of giving the first compliment, and you don't need one in return. Not even on this amazing fragrance, but you might get some. No reason to buy it, but if it suits your personality and you love it when you wear it, you might get a compliment. Just saying. That goes for any fragrance, but we're talking about John Varvatos Vintage. Boy, this stuff, it gets me. We got another brand new fragrance to my collection sent to me by Fragrance Buy, and another simple one here. I'm still getting to know it. I actually just wore it for the first time this morning. This morning I wore it to the gym. I'll be honest with you, it reminds me of something else. I can't quite place it yet. So with some more wears, I will eventually figure out what my brain is remembering, but I just can't access it right now. But this is from Kenzo. You don't see any talk about this one. This is called Kenzo Boisee. Cool little bottle, and this is primarily a ginger woody fragrance. Citrusy, gingery, woody, kind of smells the way it looks, has this yellow feeling to it. It is fresh, but there is this kind of fresh, dry quality to it, like a dry wood. A little bit spicy. It's simple. It doesn't really change. Not all that powerful, not all that long lasting, but it's also not all that expensive, and it's a great functional fragrance that doesn't smell throwaway. It doesn't smell just like another blue shower gel boyish scent, not at all. There's something special about it, and again, something reminiscent to something that I have and enjoy. I just can't place it. Maybe I'll never place it, but in the end, it is its own kind of special thing. Let me know if you've tried this one, Kenzo Boisee. This is gonna be a great fragrance to consider for the springtime. Now, if we're gonna talk about inexpensive fragrances that don't smell cheap and in fact smell of great quality and get highly overlooked for some really weird reason, we have to talk about Brioni. And we're talking about Brioni EDP Eclat. And this is once again going to be a perfect spring fragrance. This is slightly more dapper fresh in terms of a scent profile. There is this grapefruit rind feel. It is sharp and tart, but not all that juicy and citrusy, but it's definitely grapefruit blending with this white, cloudy, foggy, fresh musk and a little bit of dry woods in the background, just giving it some legs to stand on. But ultimately it smells kind of the way it looks here. It has this, again, cloudy feeling to the freshness. It's all enveloping, but it's not all that that powerful, but it actually lasts okay on me. For being a fresh scent, I spray maybe 5 to 7 times with this, and I'm gonna smell it for at least 5 hours, maybe up to 7 hours. It's gonna sit closer, but this type of scent profile, you would not expect something this fresh to last a long time. And I just think it's amazing quality for what you pay for through and through, not just the juice, but you know, if you're a bottle guy like me, I care about the presentation, the aesthetic. It's heavy glass, feels good in the hand. They have this cool little logo on the front that I believe is made out of some of the material they make for their suits. The cap is magnetic. It goes above and beyond for what you're paying for, so you feel like you have quality here, and it just so happens that the scent lives up to that as well. If you want something simple but elevated, I would check out Brioni EDP Eclat. I'll be honest with you, I was kind of appalled to see how low the price is for this fragrance at Fragrance Buy. I was not expecting this. Now, its Eau de Parfum Flanker is also inexpensive. It's probably almost $60, which I think is totally worth it. But this is the EDT. I think I was seeing this in like the $27 range, something absurd like that. This is from Hermes, and Hermes is known for quality. They're known for trailblazing. They do their own thing and they do it well, but in a way that is accessible and wearable, but also not for everyone. This is H24, the Eau de Toilette 2021 release, which I bought when it came out. I did actually buy this from Hermes when it came out. So you might say I overpaid for it, but I don't think I did. I think it is worth the almost maybe $90 I paid for it, but now you can get it for way less than that, like a third or even less. That being said, this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It is very particular, and as we've talked about before, specificity is polarizing, and that's what I love about it. This is a fresh green metallic fragrance. It has this almost pressed metal feel to it, but it's kind of green, citrusy, and fresh, and almost a little bit sweet. It's simple, but it's very different, and the metallic nature I think might rub some people the wrong way. It's pretty forward, but ultimately it does have a very sophisticated type of freshness to it. Once again, perfect for the springtime, perfect for the daytime. You will smell fresh and clean, but you're gonna smell different. If you like that, this is one to check out. If you've tried it, let me know down in the comments. Let everyone else know what you think about H24 Eau de Toilette. The EDP, once again, is also wonderful, but this is the one that you can get for way under 50 bucks. And finally, if we're talking about absurdly low prices, this is absurdly low. I don't quite understand why you can get this for such little money. This is a classic. It's been out for 20 years. In fact, this year is its 20th anniversary, 2024. It came out in 2004. I'm smelling it in the air right now. Man, you can find this under $20, at least at the time I'm filming this. I can't even believe it, but the quality you get here, the scent profile, the vibe that it carries, it's all here as long as you love the scent, of course. This is from Jacques Bogart. This is Bogart Pour Homme. Guys, the closest thing I can compare this to is Xerjoff Naxos, but this is heavier on tonka bean, more so than this honeyed tobacco feel. It is mostly sweet and fresh. There is a floral vibe that makes it soft and creamy and round, but again, keeps it fresh. Definitely lavender in there, keeping it fresh and a little soapy, but it is sweet, kind of rich, but masculine. Again, it's a total vibe. This is one that you wear on an evening out. You only need about 3 to 5 sprays of this, and it will fill the air around you because it's not a slouch of a fragrance. It projects and it lasts, in my experience, and people will notice you, and it just smells incredible in the air. There's something about sweetness with a little bit of freshness that's not overwhelming, that in the air is just attractive. I think it's got to be science at this point. If it's not, I'm doing the study. I'm not guaranteeing you're gonna love it, but I really like this stuff, and I'm liking it more and more, and I cannot believe you can get it for so little money. So if you're looking for a fragrance that would suit a function like I just mentioned, this is one to consider. Jacques Bogart Pour Homme. Let me know if you enjoy it already. If you haven't tried it, once again, links down below. Once again, links down below to Fragrance Buy if you want to check out these fragrances. Let me know if you've tried them down in the comments. And thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.